Today in crypto, is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Well, as the price soars, the FOMO starts to kick in and the question starts to get asked. Have I missed the boat? Has the ship sailed without me? Is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Well, I'm going to talk about that topic today, as well as what the big money is actually doing right now, and if the big money players think it's too late to buy Bitcoin or not. I also have some important market analysis for you, particularly on the topic of a potential coming dip for Bitcoin. My name is Lark, and this is where you subscribe for all of the hottest and all of the latest happening out here in the wild land of crypto. So, if you are looking to take your investing to the next level and get all that critical information that you need about the market to help keep you ahead of the curve, then you need to check out my weekly investor report called Wealth Mastery. So every Wednesday evening, the team and I will send you the most important updates happening in the market. We also have a deep dive report on a hot altcoin every single week, a DeFi tutorial, an interview with an industry leader, top tier technical analysis, stock investing tips, the latest token sales, the latest airdrops, and just so much more beyond that. All of that for less than $10 a week, which actually makes this one of the most affordable investor reports on the market right now. There's a link down below where you can actually check that out and even become a member today. So, let's talk about the price of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin rallied really hard on Friday, hitting another new 2020 high at $16,494, give or take a couple dollars depending on what exchange you look at. Now since then, the price has actually fallen by around $400. But even then, we're still less than 25% away from a new all-time high for Bitcoin, which is obviously very exciting. Now, if you remember, last week we were watching the ascending triangle for a strong Bitcoin breakout. And yes, we did indeed actually break out. We did see that coming through, but the target for this ascending triangle break was not $16,500. It was $17,700, meaning that this breakout failed to achieve its goals. So this kind of failed break means that we have now started to form a different pattern. So now we're actually looking at a rising wedge pattern, which tends to actually be a bearish pattern with a 66% of seeing Bitcoin's price fall in the coming weeks. Now we could see something like this kind of playing out over the next week, kind of a rise up, but maybe move back down, a rise back up again, maybe hitting like $16,750 before seeing a potentially brutal rejection and the price of Bitcoin falling down to maybe even $14,800, which is technically the target of the breakdown of this rising wedge pattern. Now, in order to invalidate this rising wedge, Bitcoin actually needs to now break $17,000. If it does do that, then Moon City, baby, we're so tantalizingly close to 20K at that point. Very, very exciting. However, to add fuel to the fire of a correction narrative coming, the 4-hour charts are also showing that Bitcoin is experiencing a bearish divergence with the price of Bitcoin rising while the RSI is falling. When we factor in also this now being the second longest run of the RSI being overbought on the daily in like the last 5 years, and that the greed index is still super high, a correction is not out of the question. But that's just the short-term stuff here, guys. We're just talking about short-term. Over the next week is when we might see this play out. Hopefully, we do get a decent dip, though. I'm praying for all you guys so you can have a chance to buy some more cheap Bitcoin. However, you just have to realize that this is the Bitcoin honey badger. It can just do crazy things. It can blast off to 20K in the next few days. History has definitely proven that Bitcoin is capable of making moves like that. So just be aware. But on the weekly, Bitcoin is looking to close its 6th straight week of green candles. Tomorrow we have about 20 hours or so before this finishes. Now this has been a very bullish run for Bitcoin. It really, I think, speaks to the bigger picture that we're seeing here, the growing might of the bull market that's forming up But you do need to remember, nothing goes straight up forever. Even the honey badger must at some point respect the laws of gravity. Now, for some context here, during the last bull run, following a 5-week run of green candles, Bitcoin dropped by 38%. Then, a little bit later, following an astonishing 8 weeks straight of green candles, Bitcoin crashed by 42%. Later that year, 6 weeks of green candles were followed by a 30% correction. All of those were fantastic buying opportunities. I just want you to understand this possibility is out there, to be ready for it when it comes. So dips come, guys. Dips come. So be ready for them. Now, on to the main topic of this video. Is it too late to buy Bitcoin? No. That's the end of the video, guys. See you later. Oh, hey, you guys are still here. Well, I guess we should talk about this topic then. So look, let's break this down a bit more. Considering the technicals today, it's potentially not the time of maximum opportunity short term for buying Bitcoin. A correction becomes increasingly likely the more this run extends out. That correction will come at some point. The only question is, when is it going to come? How deep is it going to be when it does come? But that does not change the game fundamentally that we're in right now. Even if you buy right here today near the highs of 2020, the big picture for Bitcoin still insanely bullish. We're just at the first steps of this bull run. The game plan for Bitcoin, it's simple. Always has been. You buy, you hold, you wait. You buy on crashes, you buy on dips, you buy on corrections, you buy every week, you buy on your birthday, you buy on Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and Christmas, you buy on rainy days, you buy when your favorite sports team wins, and you buy when you're dropping the kids off at the pool. Really, just any time is a good time to stack sats and then chill. Look, what is the big money doing right now? I think that's an interesting question. Not the dumb money, but the big money. Now, as an example, Dave Portnoy, the celebrity Robinhood trader, he actually sold his Bitcoin at the first sign of trouble a couple days after he bought it. Now, if he had held, he would actually be up by 40%. Now, instead, he panic sold at a loss. Then we can compare that with someone like MicroStrategy, a major company, right? They actually bought Bitcoin, then they bought more Bitcoin during the dip in September. Overall, they're up almost 60% on their investment. That's around like a $300 million gain. And you may think that with the big rise in price recently, all the institutions are done buying. Now's a bad time to buy Bitcoin. True. Buying last month would have been better, but that doesn't mean now's a bad time to buy Bitcoin. In fact, big money is not afraid to buy Bitcoin right now because they understand the scarcity aspect of Bitcoin. In fact, Grayscale just had another record week for the Bitcoin Trust, adding more than 15,000 Bitcoin, bringing their total Bitcoin under management to 506,000. And you've got to remember, who uses Grayscale? Well, more than 80% of their clients are institutional players like hedge funds. That's who's using Grayscale. Apparently, the funds who invested that $240 million last week, they do not think that now is a bad time to buy Bitcoin. Quite the opposite. You've got to get some skin in the game. And I know you guys watching already do have that skin in the game, but for these institutions that don't, it's important that they get off zero. And of course, people always thought that it's too late to buy it at $1,000. And then, of course, a lot of people thought, oh, it's too late to buy Bitcoin at $10,000. I've missed the train. The game's over. Some people think it's too late to buy Bitcoin at $16,000. Those same people will think it's too late to buy at 20, and too late to buy at 30, and too late to buy at 50, and then watch it go on to 100, and 200, and 300, and 400, and eventually one day 1 million. It's not too late, especially considering, this big picture we're seeing right now with the world's biggest Bitcoin exchange now having opened its doors to all of its US-based customers. And of course, I'm talking about PayPal. PayPal has now removed the wait list, so actually anyone in the USA can now log in and buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, buy Litecoin, and buy Bitcoin Cash using PayPal. That's amazing. So you can now buy up to $20,000 a week worth of cryptocurrency on PayPal. It's Bitcoin a week. That's crazy. The buying and selling of cryptocurrency, it's planned to be rolled out as well to their Venmo customers and to their international customers in the first half of 2021. That's 346 million total customers. Now, why is PayPal an important part of this equation here? Well, you see, this bull run so far has largely been driven by big money. All those macro investors, right? Your Paul Tudor Jones, your Druckenmillers, all these guys. Retail hasn't really shown up in a serious way yet. We're still far away from that crazy mania phase, man, where everyone's getting rich like in 5 minutes. That will come. That phase will come. And when it does, 346 million people all over the world will be able to buy Bitcoin via PayPal. That is an insane amount of fiat waiting to come in. We can also now keep track of how much volume PayPal is doing by watching the trading volume on itBit, which is part of Paxos, which is the company that's helping PayPal with the custody and the acquisition of the cryptocurrency for their exchange. Now, the volume for them was around $5 million a day before the PayPal service opened up. After PayPal opened its doors, the daily volume is around $20 million. And that was with the very limited waitlist kind of thing going on. Obviously, small compared to Binance, but now that they have opened the doors, I think we'll see that volume growing. It's obviously a good start for only being 2 weeks into the service, so hitting around $20 million a day, not bad for PayPal. Now, I want to move on to this report here from Citibank's managing director, who argues that Bitcoin is the digital gold of the 21st century, which reinforces why it's a good time to buy Bitcoin anytime. Welcome to the party, dude, by the way. Now, he bases his analysis on, of course, monetary inflation, the coming devaluation of the dollar. We talk about this stuff all the time on the channel. He says just like the price of gold skyrocketed after Nixon ended the gold backing of the US dollar, the end of the gold standard back in 1971, he says that Bitcoin is now the digital gold of a modern era, an era of extreme inflation, which will have a very similar effect to what happened back in the 70s. Governments have made it extremely clear that massive money printing, that's the solution to the problem of money printing. It's going to be the norm moving forward. Some investors even fear that inflation for the dollar could reach 5 to 10% in the coming years, which means there's going to be a lot of money looking for a place that's not the dollar to store their wealth. Now, the author of the report went on to say that Bitcoin could reach $318,000 a coin by December 2021. Hot damn, that guy is smoking some good hopium. Now, that's a 20x gain for Bitcoin from here. It's actually not that insane. And look, out of all the predictions I've heard for the 2021 bull run, anything above, I think, $250,000 is on the far end of the hopium spectrum here for this particular market cycle. Let's watch out for 100K first, and then if Bitcoin exceeds expectations, awesome. But what do you think? What do you think? What is your Bitcoin price prediction for December 2021? Will the insane hopium predictions of like $300,000 come true? Or something more, moderate, like $100,000 likely to happen? Or are you more pessimistic? Is Bitcoin only going to, hit $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 by December next year? Let me know your price prediction down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.